And Clem puts it on and disappears, and you guys go, anybody who hasn't got their
Did
space-time
he
distortion
use
maxed out?
a password?
Yes, he
That's
did.
not right.
He did do the password. Sorry.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yep. My bad. Take a card for that. Everybody, if you don't have space-time distortion space-time distortion maxed out, give me a Sandy roll. If you do, then you go, neat, he disappeared.
Wow.
It's 1 point if you make it, put towards space-time distortion.
Space-time distortion. There it is.
Also, something interesting.
Yeah, I got it maxed out.
Everybody give me a spot hidden roll at half for a little interesting thing.
Come on, crit. Holy crap, it actually worked. I just have to say it.
God damn. All right. Vega, you noticed that not only did the fucking hot towel disappear with the guy, but it seems to have, the hot towel thing that he has, the little pile Clem has, one more appeared on top of it when that one disappeared. So apparently he'll always have the same number of hot towels unless you, steal them all or something.
I point this out.
They look moderately interested.
All right, so high level stuff, we're kind of waiting on other things to happen. There's a lot we'd like to do. We're waiting on the other people that are around more often to fix environment stuff. Other stuff that I've got pending is really more business related.
Do you need to achieve any of your business stuff today?
No. Everyone working for me right now has their mission. They know what to do in the meantime.
Do you have access to go anywhere more technologically advanced? Do you have the ability to go anywhere that you know? Yes, Logan.
Guy appears in the chair. He's struggling. He's got a whole bunch of shit in his hands. He struggles to put up his mask, dropping some of the shit. He still runs off without glancing at you guys. It looks like there's 3 steaks, not meat, three wooden steaks, couple things of garlic, and
Damn vampire.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
Yeah, let's do this. Here, everybody have a seat.
All right.
Hot towel to shave.
Where are you going back to?
Embassy, the dingo ate your baby.
I'm sorry, that's not. I don't recognize that.
Didn't I just say the same thing the other guy said a few minutes ago?
Give me a number. Sway caught it. Howdy, what can I do you for?
Baby.
What's that?
Embassy.
Them as well?
Yes, please.
Wait a minute. What did you
Hot
just
towels
say?
he's talking to you with the hot towels put over your face. And hot towels are taken off your face, and it's super dark. You guys can't see anything.
I stand up out of the chair.
Right.
Shows up.
Did somebody say something in there?
Aziz, light.
The doors begin to open. Oh, you are illuminated. Right.
Oh.
You guys leave this area, and they close the big spiky doors behind you after you're all out.
All right.
Where to?
So what? Let's clarify something here first. What?
No. How about we go into the bunker?
You guys go into the Bahunker, which is the explosion room, as it's also called. It's a really solid stone construction, and they put up some things on the side to help reinforce it. And the roof itself, although it keeps the rain out, is super weak. That way it acts like a big gun shooting God in his ass. So you guys go into the bunker. There's nobody in there. There's a lot of fairly sturdy furniture and stuff like that, and chairs, and looks like some old MRE packets and stuff that, just laying around.
Okay.
Now you guys are in privacy.
You need to lose some of your accent. It sounded like you said, the dingo ate your baby.
That's right. That's what I set the password to.
I pull my pistol out. I aim it at his head. How do I know you're really the rat? You've got the wrong password.
He's got you there. You're like, Dad, he's caught me.
So someone must have changed it, eh?
All right. You know how I do interrogation. First I shoot you, then I ask the questions. Ready?
All right.
All right. A dingo ate your baby.
All right, I'll go with it. I think you got out of game. I think you guys are failing your memory rolls.
I'm just giving the password that works.
He's got you there.
He's the one that sets the password.
It's fucking great.
It's funny because the last time we played with Freddy, he actually said a dingo, and that was wrong. So,
He just keeps switching back and forth.
Why don't we, hey, Rad, why don't we just completely reset the password to something nobody else knows right now?
Believe me, I thought about it.
I'm giving a card to Swade for cruelty right there. Boom. There you go. If you guys actually do that, I'll give everybody a card.
Oh, it's crossed my mind, but I'm not
I'll give everybody 2 cards.
JRV.
Now, fuck it. I'll give a group refill if you go reset it right now.
Does anybody have like a garbage card to throw out?
A group
I do.
refill if you go reset it right now to something fucked up.
All right, I'm listening. What else can we do to sweeten the deal here?
Wait, so did we change the password, or is it still the same?
No, we didn't do anything yet.
They're just talking about possible cruelty to the rest of the PCs, which I like.
Do we do accounting now that we're done with all the business?
Say that again.
Do you want a +20 card to accounting?
Well, I don't think it'll come in handy now.
All right.
No, I don't need it. I've got pretty good cards at the moment.
So.
All right, so now we can talk.
All right.
I really liked having all the action going on. Okay.
So there's nothing immediate and pressing. A lot of the big stuff that we've talked about doing, we can't really do until environmental things are taken care of. We can experiment with the Clems some more because we've only scratched the surface of what we can do there.
And do you remember your safe word with that?
What's the safe word for that?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the password or are you talking about something else?
You guys have a safe word?
It disturbs me you know about safe words at your age.
Are you talking about if the nuke is detonated?
Yes.
Yeah, you say undo, and then whatever the last command was that triggered that.
All right. Well, I figured it's important for all 3 of us to know this, just in case somebody.
Right. So the way it happened before was I started doing experimenting with different commands, and the closer you get to kind of what's considered an admin command, I was given a warning that if I continue attempting administrative level commands, that the thermonuclear device would be activated, and that's when Doc Fulton started pushing it, and it detonated, and then we found out from Maryland that if you just say undo, and then whatever the last command was, that will undo that last command that triggered the nuke.
All right, question. This is very important. Merlin told you that, or Ghost Wheel told you that?
Merlin told us that.
How does Merlin know about the programming? Because he created Ghost Wheel.
It's a good question. Maybe we'll ask him next time we see him.
Huh.
He obviously knows something about it. Maybe it's a joint venture. He created Ghost Wheel, seeing how he's our grandpappy.
If it's the
Ghost
rumor.
Wheel's our pappy. So it's probably a little father-son bonding project.
If it is, he would have just kicked you back into the box. Why did he call up his son? Or daughter?
Yeah, I suppose he could be gender fluid. I hadn't really put much thought into it. Yeah, so he contacted Ghost Wheel when we got out of the box. That's what led to that whole event.
Whoever's playing with their pens, stop it. The mic picks up everything.
What type of commands were you typing into the Clems?
We were experimenting with passwords at first, and then what really started to push it is when I was asking for administrative level access. I asked him to give me the ability to replicate barber poles. Let's see.
That's something you haven't done yet. You've never tried that and successfully done that yet, have you?
No, the last time I played was that session when I got all that.
You could start your wood carving while you are sitting around talking if you'd like to attempt it.
Well, I got to check in wood carving. I'm definitely building it up.
Ah, yeah, that's right. You suck at it right now. Good point. Carry on.
Cut your finger off.
What? Okay, so we know how to make the poles. I've copied blueprints of the Clems. We know how to build Clems physically. What about the...
Oh, here's all the skill list of skills needed for Clems according to your blueprints, if you need it. And value of materials, roughly 12 gold worth in whichever zone you're in.
12 gold worth of materials, you said?
Yep.
So, do we want to see if we can play with the protocols a little bit, like we talked about, and maybe try to change it so we can do facial features and things like that? See if we could expand and see maybe there's features that are just disabled that are not administrative.
Right, that was the impression I got before, because I was able to reset the password without a warning. So I think there are, like, the way I would think of it is there's probably certain user level access, and then there's administrative access. And if we go poking around too much in the administrative access, that's what will piss things off. But I was able to do certain things without a warning.
How did you interface it?
Just Clem's followed by Clem, reset password, for example.
Have we ever asked
So
Clem?
Clem is the interface.
Have we ever asked Clem for all the destinations?
Yes. And he gave us a readout of all the zones that I had been to, basically.
Gotcha.
Was that how it worked, Logan? Because when you had mentioned it before? Okay. He didn't give me a list of zones that I had not been to or anything?
No. Give me an evidence analysis roll there, Tiger. Both in asking about that and going to that, you notice it's very much wired to shit you've already been to. In other words, you cannot, like, unless you've been or are with somebody who's been to a different place, then you can get to a different place. For example, if you have been to, like, the Smurf zone, for example, Vince couldn't go to the Smurf zone unless you're going to the Smurf zone and take him with you. Right?
Gotcha.
Right.
He couldn't ask about the Smurf zone, but you could because you've been there, presumably. I'm not sure if you actually have, just a random example.
Right. Yeah. So I asked him to give me to list off the locations where there were other Clems, and he basically rattled off the zones I have been to.
I wonder if we could also check status of them. Like, is it operational?
Yeah, I don't think we tried that.
Okay, that's something I'd like to try. I mean, that's what we actually want to do. All right.
Ralph, grab a card when you get a chance.
All right. Play immediately.
Perfect.
The other thing, we talked about appearance changes. We could also see what other kind of changes he could make, whether it's equipment, currency.
I don't know if this works, but I've got, if you have negative favors with any NPC, not that I know of, one of them will do something bad to you.
Nobody's really pissed off at Suede right now.
No, I try to stay low key. All right. All right. I'm sorry, Jay. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, we could also, the other commands we were talking about experimenting with not just our features, but we were also curious what would happen to trump cards if we change our features, whether it temporarily disables them or not. We also talked about whether we could use Clems to give us equipment, currency, things like that.
That's right. As it teleports us or transports us. Go ahead, Logan.
I was going to say, that reminds me, put a post on the in-game board sometime, make a note to do it, Jay, that all the trumps of you are broken. Please discard.
The trumps of me?
Of Wrestling Rat, yeah. All of them, for some reason, have become inert, stopped working, throw them out.
Can we or have a trump?
Do I look different or something? I look in the mirror? A mirror?
Or, sorry, not you, Suede. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah. Presumably the hairstyle change.
Right, so I guess as we're talking about it, let's check out your card then, since you changed the hairstyle.
My trump of myself is broken then.
So
Yes.
it feels different?
It no longer feels cold. It no longer feels like it has any mojo, so to speak.
I have a question. Has anyone tried to make a trump in Clems or use a trump?
I don't know if anyone's tried making one of Clem's before.
Can I attempt that?
You could.
You could always try.
Yes, I'll let you try it now if you.
I haven't really put much thought into whether that's a good idea or not.
That's a
it's
great
not like
question.
they change much, so and there's usually light coming in. So
Not at the one here.
right, the one in the embassy is dark.
All the time, unless it's in
in
use.
theory, it's a relatively stable one. But Clems have been known to be destroyed and blown up and raided by scruffy facts.
Do you know why they're targeted, or?
Oh, various reasons. Humans are such unpredictable creatures.
All right, let's focus here. So we've got the status of existing Clems,
The door bursts open. A guy and a girl in each other's arms stop. Look at you guys. Go. Sorry. Close.
Get another room.
Just when he said humans are unpredictable creatures.
See what I'm talking about?
All right, we talked about like facial features and things like that, more dramatic changes.
All right, so we could check that off the list. We know that they'll fuck with trump cards.
I don't care about that.
Well, we should. Those aren't exactly easy to come by.
Yeah, but it's a good way to break people who've made Trump of you without you knowing it.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
Very good point. Very good point.
I'm giving him a card for that fucking sneak.
So it doesn't hurt to do that every so often.
Does anyone want a triple spell range?
Magic doesn't exist.
Good point.
How can you argue that?
Anybody want to skill 5%? I've got a skill of just 5% to roll on your roll.
I already have a 5%.
I'm just tossing it.
Yeah, toss it.
All right.
Should I get rid of an eavesdrop or keep it?
Keep that one for now.
Gotcha.
So here's the other thing I was thinking about trying, Rad, is after we open the portal, I want to see if I could link through the bracelet while the portal's open. Because
Talking about in the back?
where this is coming from, when I was messing and hacking around and poking around in the bracelet, you said it's secure, but there's no way to attach any hardware or anything to it. I'm looking for basically my Wi-Fi access through the portal. I'm trying to figure out if these bracelets are tied to Ghost Wheel, if this is tied to Ghost Wheel, if the bracelets are part of the big picture tied to Clem's.
Who is Ghost Wheel?
Ghost Wheel's our daddy.
I love that you not only answer him, but you give him something so outrageous and vague that he just sits there and goes, huh.
Actually, he'd be my uncle.
You see, originally I thought this was all just a Mormon simulation, but it turns out
Cousin.
Ghost Wheel's actually the Mormon.
All right.
Multiple wives, seeing stones, stuff like that.
Okay. Do we want to just try these first few things?
Well, yeah, so to what you were saying, the Wi-Fi thing.
Yeah.
So we could communicate with each other across dimensions. Where does the Wi-Fi part come in?
I want to poke around on the bracelet with the portal open, looking at me right there to see if I can try to just poke around, see if I could establish a link with the portal, see if I could establish a link with Ghost Wheel. I'm just poking around.
So you're saying you want to try to connect your bracelet to the portal somehow?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
In other words, I want to see if, let's say, because since we're in the simulation, so somewhere there has to be a SWADE file, right?
All right.
Now, when we travel through Clem's, does the SWADE file travel? Does that make sense? From one zone to the other zone.
Yeah, I would think so. It's a source file.
Now, this is why I'm saying that is if there's a SWADE file, can we alter the SWADE file such as I want to give myself a new tuxedo every time I travel through Clem's.
Right.
Does that make sense? I want to refresh. Does that make sense? What's that thing when people sleep and they pop up residual thing?
Oh, the residual self-image?
Yes, there has to be a self-image of me somewhere if this was really happening.
Right. Yeah, I
want
agree.
to create my file, and I wanted to see if I could change my file.
Yeah, so here's what I've tried doing. I've tried using the bracelet to edit my config file, but it didn't work. I've also tried to use Clem to edit my config file. It didn't work. When I met Ghost Wheel, I told him to edit my config file so I could replicate barber poles. And then that's when he thought about it for a second and then basically gave me access to create barber poles. So
there is a file of you, right? A config.
He didn't deny that there was a file, and he seemed to know what I was talking about when I requested he edit my file. But I forget when I tried to use Clem's to edit it, what the response was. If I remember correctly, I believe I got the response. I lacked the access to do it.
That's
or
fine.
It might have just said, sorry, I don't recognize that command.
That's why I want you to try to hack it using the bracelet through the portal.
Well, my understanding is these bracelets, I mean, they might be a Ghost Wheel thing, or it might be some kind of MyGo tech that they found. And
either way,
Freddie was able to hack it. But Freddie did make it to where we could give it voice commands. So we could attempt to hack it to do other things.
Right, that's what I'm looking for here. Think about it. Let's say there's a Clem's in St. Louis. You're in St. Louis. I'm at the embassy, wherever world I'm in now.
Yes.
I can still type on my bracelet, and you'll receive the message.
Correct. And you can even talk to me through it.
Right. So somehow these are linked. Everything is linked. Right. I just want you to try to find out, are they linked through the portal as an example, or through the Clems? Is that the gateway? Is that potentially a way to alter our files? Look, I'm not looking to be super strong, super smart, but as an example, I want to basically maybe make a white room, like we talked about.
Right, the back room.
Yeah. When I go through the Clems, can I have a residual refresh? Or, can I,
right,
go full Neo mode and get a cool trench coat every time?
Yeah, exactly. Right, yeah. Like using the Clems to basically bring out the rack of guns to choose from.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just a matter of trying. My intuition says that the bracelet isn't related to that. I think it would be more likely that the Clem could do that. But the bracelet and communicating through the portal, to me, that seems like something else.
No, possibly, but here's the thing. Let's say we're in a box that, in a universe, let's just call it the real universe. So the box is sitting in the real universe, whether virtual or not. If the MyGo have broken into the box because they exist multidimensionally and, things like that. If this is a MyGo bracelet, which it is some MyGo technology, maybe that can also, maybe I can navigate using that type of technology. Does that make sense? Into the box.
Right. So to expand on that, so the MyGo could be from outside the box, like Amberites and the Chaos folks.
Sure.
And they got in, or the MyGo are simulated, just like us.
Correct. So
if I were to guess, I'd say the MyGo are simulated, and the bracelets are simulated. It's more likely we could somehow communicate with Ghost Wheel through the bracelets, since they are his creation as well.
Did you try the bracelet? Did you try any technology or the bracelet when you were in courts?
No.
Because I wonder, let's just say, what if I'm in Amber and you're in Chaos courts? Mm-hmm. Will the bracelets work?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't try that. I've only used the bracelets inside the box.
Right. And like we said, maybe the quartz and the amber that we are currently seeing are still in the box and part of the same simulation.
Possibly. That could have been Merlin trying to throw us off, but I heard Merlin tell Ghost Wheel that we got out of the box.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But
so that's the only thing I really had to go on there.
If Ghost Wheel is the puppeteer pulling all of the strings, does that make sense then?
Is Merlin and Ghost Wheel good guys or enemies? Or are they just neutral?
I like that he's asking these questions. I'm giving his ass another card.
Hey, both? Who's to say? Probably depends on the mood.
I got an assist D10 damage if anyone wants that.
Yeah, you could toss it. If we're fighting, we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
The other thing,
he goes, God damn it.
I like where you're going with it. The other thing we could potentially try is getting out of the box again, maybe via the Royal Road.
Right, we talked about Royal Roading maybe to Amber.
That's one other thing we could attempt, considering the village sounds like it's on lockdown. So I think just being mindful of how much time we've spent in the world, we're best suited to try to do a little bit more experimentation to try to take on anything like going around in the sewers. So we've got a few ideas, status of various Clems, whether we can access a back room, so to speak, to get equipment, things like that. We could attempt some other things to edit our configuration files. We could also attempt to send a message to Ghost Wheel. Let me jot that one down.
Right, and since it replenished the towel, maybe it could replenish the ammo in my pistols. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Right.
Where are we exactly?
We're in a big stone concrete bunker.
Yeah, we're
Australia.
Yeah, we're in Beaston, San Angeles right now.
All right. So there's a emissary in Australia, and then there's another embassy where?
The Australian embassy is in Beaston, San Angeles.
Beaston.
Kind of an 1800s time zones where they're like humanoids with animal heads.
I'm just trying to put the MSCs to what dimension or whatever.
Yeah, that's you're here right now.
The embassy is in Beaston, yes. And the Clems we went through was in a back room that's connected to the embassy, basically. So now we're in another room of the embassy or something.
Gotcha.
So
do we want to just try what we talked about with the Clems? Start with statuses, changing facial features.
Well,
The Trump breaks.
I don't know if I want to experiment anymore with the facial features yet. I do like the idea of breaking unauthorized trump cards, as it were, but I don't know if I want to break mine yet.
Right.
Because this is probably one of the handiest things I've had so far is a trump card of yourself. But, we can definitely attempt to make some more, but I just don't know if I'm ready to break this yet.
Yes, when we're tired this evening, you could try to make me a new one of myself, so.
What does it mean to have a trump card of yourself?
I pull out the trump cards. So here's some trump cards of various locations that we've used. And then I pull out a trump card that looks like me. So with this card, you can concentrate on it and you can contact me. And then we could talk through it, or I could actually be pulled through the card to you.
So let's say Razzle Rad and I were in 2 different zones. And we're like, okay, we're going to split up temporarily and then we're going to meet back up again. But there might not be a way, like a Clems or anything like that, for him to get back. So Rad can give me his card. I can go to the safe place. And then I'm like, I wait the appropriate amount of time. Maybe he sends me a little message. Okay, pull me out. I could focus on his card and then rip it up and laugh at him because now he's trapped. Or I could try to pull him through.
Gotcha. All right.
Robert, your mother's brother?
All right. So do we want to go talk to the Clems?
Let's do it.
All right. I'll let you take the lead on that one. Try to lose a little bit of your accent, though. Okay, pal?
Another question.
I was the whole time thinking all you blokes had the accent.
What if we tried creating a trump of Clem, not the place but the person, and try to pull him through to a different Clems?
He has to choose to come through, I think. It's an option.
That
Gotcha.
would certainly detonate a nuclear explosion.
Giving him a card for thinking outside the bun. He doesn't say much, but when he talks, he's fucking dropping some bombshells
that is an
there.
interesting thought. I'd love to see what happens there. I'd just be nervous to be the one to try it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I have dissemination.
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
Who wants Lucky Day?
That's a great one.
What's Lucky
And
Day?
who wants a victory and who wants Lucky Day?
What does Lucky Day do?
Play after failing a luck roll. This turns that fail into a success, and you get a chuck in luck.
Yeah, I'll get rid of an opponent fails, and I'll take that. Unless you want to keep the opponent fails. I think I'm definitely going to try to avoid combat.
I like what Swade said earlier about combat.
And if you want to, Sway, do you have a crappy card?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I got like rerolls, assist 10%, replenish, and clogging greed. I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Now,
I was going to say, you can hold 4 cards, Vince, so.
Oh yeah, you're right. But the card says playing this card allows you to take 2 of your cards and give them to people.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a have to or you can.
No, you can wait and play it later. There will be a time later where between Ralph and Jason, they will walk you through the fucking master class of end of mission card play.
All right.
Assuming it doesn't get used before.
Oh yeah, are you talking about the victory still?
No, he's talking about the he has a dissemination.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
You have a dissemination, a round revision, a +5 to skill, and victory.
Yeah, the +5 to skill is your weakest card. So if you get something better, that should probably be the first to go. Followed by the round revision. If they manage to continue with their stated objective of avoiding combat.
Yeah.
Although, of course, you might just have time to complete the sewer thing, but that is potentially some ugly combat. I'm just
The
saying.
sound of even exploring or stepping into the sewers of disappointment sounds like a long, exhaustive endeavor.
I would like to point out that that could be a perfect thing for what we talked about as far as like, hello, I'm Mr. Johnson for others. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, that's part of why.
If you wanted to set that up.
I almost didn't even want to go to that place for that reason, but
Well, yeah, but I mean, now you've got a Mr. Johnson type mission.
We do have a Mr. Johnson, a Mr. Carl Johnson, maybe.
He would be an interesting Mr. Johnson. Yeah, he could probably pull that off.
Maybe interesting. Okay, but it's
hopefully you'll get time today to set that up, and then you might even get results as early as Logan checks schedule.
Yeah, maybe we should go back possibly. And Carl he's on the payroll, but let's not have him actually be part of security or hang out. He's just on the payroll. You know what I mean, Jack?
That's what I said. Let him go home to his family or anything like that. Or we just let him just keep to the streets and keep his ear to the grindstone, you know?
Yeah, he definitely wanted to avoid the misses, but let's tell him after he's done convalescing a little bit, we'll have him go somewhere else. Let's make a note just to go back there and take care of that.
Yeah, that Mr. Johnson type thing that I mentioned. You could actually get that done tomorrow with the set of people that you've got playing then.
Should we give Carl some specific instructions to have those blokes go check out the house and help find the kids?
Who's going to be available tomorrow?
I don't know. Some Dora.
Not my role.
Are you asking me or?
I could look it up.
I was going to say that's Kinley.
Let's go to the
Sweaty.
No. Kinley who?
Kinley,
House?
Sweaty, and the woman with no name.
Who's Sweaty?
Freddie.
Freddie.
Freddie is literally the sweatiest. I'm surprised because he constantly sweats because he's always nervous about everything. He's the most risk-adverse person that you've ever met.
Okay, well, so here's the thing. We should send them. So what we should do is this. We need to leave some detailed instructions. Oh, God, they're going to fuck it up.
They're the three most violent wild cards of the group. I don't know if it's a good idea.
But if they think it comes from Mr. Johnson, assuming they visit the zone, because you can set up Mr. Johnson, these are the people to look for. And he goes.
So here's the thing is, what we should have it do is,
The RPCs. Look at Jay, he's fucking scheming and shit. That's his scheming face there. Put that on his phone.
What it is the kid, Higgins, remember his friends, are getting sucked into this other gang, that real bad apple gang? Or was that the Harlequins?
The Harlequins were recruiting Hickenbottom, which was the gang leader.
Right.
And the Harlequins were also being kind of recruited by the three dangerous men where the two kids disappeared, kind of staking out the house.
Oh, that's where the dangerous guys were?
Yeah.
I missed part of that because I was not there.
Yeah, the house we checked out was where the dangerous guys supposedly lived. But that's where they accessed the sewers. So they don't actually live there. But the kids apparently disappeared and got taken there.
If we could guide them there.
It's one of the tunnels.
Now, do you want to through a Mr. Johnson or just ask really, really nicely for them to go do it? Or
I think they would be more likely to do it if it came from Mr. Johnson.
All right. So why don't we work that in then?
So the question is, what's their motivation?
Yeah, that is another thing. They might also do the death clause. So, and also it depends on who goes to that zone first, because you can have, you guys are between all of you. You have enough art skills if you wanted to make pictures of the other doors and shit and go, these are the people you look for, and when you see them, you fucking go up, hi, I'm Mr. fucking Carl, I have missions, and they go, ooh.
You know what? Carl even has contacts that are mercenaries and bodyguards and things like that. He could send one of those boys to go talk to him.
Another level of security.
Yep, another level
Keep
of
Carl
cutout.
away from all of them.
Are you trying to keep Carl alive, you bastard? You know Carl's slated to die at the PC's hands by accident.
That's right.
Unfortunately, that might happen.
We'll get him pause rated. We'll get
All right,
there.
so let's think on that a little bit more.
All right, so should we just go talk to Clem's?
Yeah, let's wander over towards Clem.
Why I thought you should take the lead on that, Rad, is because you've also had interactions with Ghost Wheel.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't kill me or squash me. He endeared myself enough to him for him to edit my config file to replicate Bible polls. So, I mean, that's something.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if he's still a little bitter about me coming up with a plan to jam him inside of a stone, 20 years ago, but...
I don't think he holds grudges that long, do you?
Cut to, it shows a fucking meteor getting nudged out of its trajectory toward this planet.
But it would help us, that would help answer one of our other questions, is whether it's the same one or a simulation himself.
Exactly.
Like I'm really curious to know if the Ember and the Chaos is the same ones that we've been to in the past.
That's why I want to go talk to him.
So that would be, if we could either talk to him or take the Royal Road to Ember.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. What kind of shit can we talk about Logan while he's away?
And he's back.
Do you want to go get us more ice? Fence?
Pumping and pumping and pumping.
I came in on the best part.
I used to hear, take my cup. Take my glass, fence.
You're pumping and take my glass. Take my glass. Like, Jesus Christ, why do you hook up to it?
That escalated quickly. All right, so we're wandering back over to Clem's. I give the nod to the guards.
Right, they go, I understand. You can tell that they don't. They open the fucking big doors with the spikes and shit, and you guys hurry in, and then the big doors.
The lights?
There are no lights, they tell you as the doors close, locking you into a Stygian darkness. There's a long pause as you think about it.
And as the door's closing, give me a lantern or something.
I'm sorry, sir. You hear from the outside. The doors open again, and the guard goes, I'm sorry, sir. We've been told specifically no fire at all in there. Freddy Firestarter may be in there at any time. He could just boom in like that, set fire to the place, and that would destroy the Clems. In fact, we have this written order. He shows you a written order. It says, absolutely no fire, flame-making devices, oil, explosives, hand grenades, and lists all this shit by order. He rolls it back up.
Can you actually read that, or did somebody read it to you?
I know how to read, he says.
Just checking.
He glares at you. You won't catch me with those trick questions.
Think about this for a second.
And once again, Stygian darkness.
All right, try your flashlight.
Okay, I'll reach in.
What can I do you first? As a voice right near
and
go to the voice.
Yeah, I attempt to use the flashlight.
All right, let me check. What kind of flashlight is? Oh yeah,
I got modern day mag light kind of thing.
Oh yeah, those are great flashlights, and they last forever. Sure, give me a. Give me a willpower times 5 roll, and whatever else comes with that.
Oh, let's see. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking through my backpack here.
I like that
willpower times 5.
I like that you guys are starting to move into. Yeah, the fucking flashlight's broken. You're pretty sure. You click.
I think the batteries ran out, so I just can't get it to work here.
Howdy, what can I do you for? says the voice. You're in complete darkness, Vince. Apparently your eyes have stopped working or been plucked right out of the skull painlessly by one of these guys.
I open my eyes to see if I'm closed.
Oh shit! You're still blind. This is just horrible.
Hey, Dak, is that your hand on my ass?
Howdy, what can I do you for? Says the voice. Sounds creepy after that.
And I just hear a picture.
If you could hear the commands from here, Rad, why don't you see if you can use the commands? Question, because there were lanterns on the walls. There's spots for lanterns.
Spots for lanterns, but in this particular Clems, they appear to have all been meticulously removed for some reason, Freddy.
But why are they not respawning?
That's a good question.
An imposter? No.
That's something to inquire about when you're in there poking around there. Question.
I think the guards probably come in and remove them every day, upon the instructions.
Right, but every time somebody would go through the portal, or every time something was removed, every time somebody uses the Clems, the towel gets replaced.
But I think whenever some kind of damage is done to the Clems, it usually takes 24 hours for it to regenerate. So I bet it's the kind of thing where they go in once a day and remove lanterns, assuming they respawn as well. I think the towels is probably just something else.
All right. So
I'm trying to think here.
What are you stumped on?
No, I'm just thinking of light sources still.
Just follow the voice. You just gotta go on all fours and go to the voice. I mean, just go nice and slow.
Grow like a dog.
As dumb as this might sound,
Getting rid of another opponent fails. Sorry to cut you off, Vince.
you're fine. What if we record Clem's voice and just play it back to him on a loop? Would he just talk to himself forever? And if that's the case, would he ever talk to anybody else?
Oh, I love the idea, though. I don't know. If we run out of other ideas, we can certainly try that.
Well, ask him what you want. What can we do you for, Clems?
Howdy, what can I do you for?
What can I do you for?
Howdy, what can I do you for?
You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to build a Clems next to that robot in the sewer. They could just drive each other nuts.
I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, that thing.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me start with one of the commands I've done before.
You feel super uncomfortable trying this in complete and utter darkness. I'd just like to point out it is creepy as shit. And you also hear the guards going, what are they doing? I don't know. They're still in there.
What I was going to say, Rad, I know you're getting into your commands.
Do you think they're going to leave soon? I don't fucking know. Should we open it? Not yet. This conversation's going on. And you can hear it because you think, give me evidence analysis rolls.
The wall's that thin?
That's the evidence analysis part. You think that they've got the ear trumpet, for the old people going, hey, you think they've got one of those, and it's probably pressed up against the Clems, and that's how they find out there's somebody in here. So there's probably several people with ear trumpets or possibly glasses or God knows what, sitting there going, they're still there. And you can hear them because you guys are really good at hearing shit. Normal people aren't, so they use ear trumpets. So, yeah.
I'm sorry. Why don't you see if you could take maybe the glass panes, or is there some kind of accent? Why not see if you can get the pole to illuminate?
Illuminate the
pole to illuminate.
Clem's light.
They used to light up in the old days.
Clem, turn on the lights, please.
There's no answer at all to this stuff. By the way, with your earlier evidence analysis rolls, you're also concerned that if you start doing commands that somebody outside who is definitely spying on your ass may pick up some information that would be awkward.
That's why we could do it from the inside of the building, and you could talk real quiet. This is a building.
Sign language.
I go over, I feel around and find Clem.
You feel something. He is not excited to see you, which disappoints you in a way.
I feel the ass of whoever it is.
All right. Howdy, what can I do first?
Well, there you are.
Try to access it through your bracelet first.
What's that, Jack?
See if you can access the Clem's
Oh,
bracelet, and then you could type. You don't have to talk.
I have a theory that I want to try out with Clem. What if we tried to either do like sign language or write on a piece of paper, or perhaps even speak in a different language with an answer? Would he just not understand, or?
Yeah, that's a good point. I bet
Garbage?
he might be able to understand other languages.
I have garbage.
Here, just throw it out.
All right.
All right, here's what I do.
Here's
That's the exact same card I had.
The bracelet,
15.
Interstellar Duvalaki. I bring up the interface. Is that enough light to illuminate?
It gives a weak glow, so everything looks especially creepy. And you can see Clem, and it's always lit from below. Yeah, you can see now.
I'm going to bring up mine also.
Helps.
And from this point on, I stop talking, and any communication I do is through typing to, like, Rad and Vincent.
Ooh.
Vincent's now looking at his bracelet. So, yeah, you've got a shitty light source now.
That's fine.
Who wants a plus 5% to any skill?
Permanent?
No.
Oh, that's it. I think we're okay.
Or I just got reverse dice, which is
Nice.
Yeah, let's hold on to it. I've got a clogging greed and a dissemination, lucky day, and reroll. So
Yeah,
pretty good stuff. Okay, so we've got 2 of the interfaces open.
3.
That gives us a little bit of light. Okay, Vince opened his.
Now
I'll type.
I'll
Type a message to Suede. So you were saying we should try giving Clem a command through the bracelet.
Yes. I'm sorry, what was that, Logan? You were starting to say something?
Nope, I'm good.
No, I like hearing. Yes.
No,
all right,
fine.
so we're off the beginning. All right.
So I'm going to start with a command I know I've given before. Clem, give me a list out of other Clems.
At the appropriate time from last time he said it, 30 seconds in, he asked, howdy, what can I do you for?
So since I'm standing next to Clem, I'll say it in hushed tones. Clem, give me a list out of other Clems.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. He says, Clem's is operational. He's responding in full volume. He is not whispering.
Can I say in German?
Give me your German roll. What are you saying? Well done.
I say give me a list of destinations.
I'm sorry. He says, Clem responds in German. He's like, das tut mir leid, ich kann verstehen Sie nicht.
Okay. Good thinking, Vince.
Yeah. Vince taking their card. Your crazy theory seems to be working.
All right. Ooh.
What the hell was that? You hear from outside. I think it's a different language. God damn it. You hear.
In Mandarin. Damn it. I would like to have special time with your mother, I say to
Clem responds in Mandarin and says things to you. Horrible things.
What can I do you for?
If I have a 65, do I still need to roll to...
You have to make it at least once in the session, and then you're good for the rest of the session.
Does anyone want a I got it here somewhere card?
Oh, that's a nice card.
That's not a bad one, but I think I'd rather hold on. I've got a reroll. What do you think, guys? You think it might be worth trying to speak to them in Mandarin?
Yes, get the Mandarin. I could give you another reroll if you need.
Okay.
And I'll even play. Do you want me to play the assist 10? I've got a replenish, so we could burn some cards.
Yeah, might as well. That way we can do this without the other boneheads listening in on us.
And then you
The
could just
boneheads
relate-
are really pissed about this. But also, give me a memory roll, and if you make it, an evidence analysis roll.
Memory
You got this.
roll.
Yeah.
Fail.
Oh, well, don't worry about the evidence analysis. Actually, Swade and Vince, they can try memory as well, and if they make an evidence analysis.
All right,
Nope.
moment.
You need both, though.
Oh,
Swade
damn.
goes, ah! And then he
All right.
goes, ah! And he
You
goes,
can see clearly now the rain is gone.
That'd be good. If
All
you-
right, mine's not bad.
Do you
I got
want
an
me?
assist 10. Can I give somebody an assist 10 to play on me?
Yeah, I'll trade it with you for. I've got it here somewhere.
That's a sexy
Okay.
card. If those two can't figure out
Um,
what to use that on, I will be stunned.
Oh, I know what I want to use it on.
Oh yeah.
All right. Is it? Oh, whoops! I didn't give you your card. Just accept. There you go.
All right, so play that card on me, please.
All right. Yep. You get plus 10%.
All right, so I'm at 65. Here we go.
Good luck. We're all counting on you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're thinking, Swade, with your amazing thinkingness, that Mandarin may not be a good language to use because there was a fucking Hong Kong zone and all these assholes know how to use Clem's, and they were there doing stuff for some of the PCs. And anytime that these guys, meaning the 1,000 or about 1,000 doors, not their 500 kids that they keep fucking creating here because they can't fucking keep their hands off each other, but they always seem to filter through other guys, and so a lot of them may actually speak some or good Mandarin because they also gain in skills too. So if you are suspecting them of being a bit naughty, German would be a safer language. However, if especially if you start going well, then they're just fucked because they don't speak that language. But
I was about to say, do you guys want to try speaking Great Alien? Because it's not a
What other
universal.
languages do you have there?
Well, I chose that because that's the only one I'm fluent in. I can
that's a
speak
huge
an Aboriginal.
problem.
I have French and Spanish.
Speak
Also,
a little bit of Finnish.
yeah, getting something you're able to conversate in would be a big boon, especially if it's not a language of a zone that these guys have had access to, and hence time to learn and
But you know
full
what?
immersion.
How many guards are out there? I'm asking. There's like how many guards are out there, and how many of them really are going to be fluent enough to understand?
I'm just saying that there's a
two layers of walls.
There's a good possibility that somebody may at least have some Mandarin. I'm just saying that if you're trying to keep secret and yet stay here for reasons, then there's some security risk, and you are security enough minded that you should either switch your language or switch your zone.